One.
Shalom, shalom, giving our praise, honor, and glory to the Most High God in the name of the Son of Mashiach, Yahushua. We are the Battle Axes coming to you with a Tuesday takeover class, and we're taking our book back. Today's class is entitled In Sickness and in Health. In sickness and in health. We ain't talking about marriage. Going into our health, man. What's involved in our health? I ain't talking medicines. I ain't talking about what the doctor's giving us. I'm talking about our physical health and our spiritual health. They got all in one. So we're just going to touch on some things concerning that, how important it is to have that health, but also how do you have good health? You know what I'm saying? Give me 1 Corinthians chapter 3, and verse 16.
The book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 3, and verse 16. Know ye not that ye are the temple of God?
What did the Bible say?
Know ye not that ye are the temple of God, and that the Spirit of God dwelleth in you?
See, that's the thing. We ain't worried about no church building. We can get a building when it comes to the Most High God. You know, our T snakes and them over there got them mega churches and things like that. That's what they concerned about. How big can my church be? How many people can we fit in here in the house of God? But the Bible says the house of God is in us, which only makes sense, man. This is a spiritual thing. A building can't house your spirit. The building can't house the Spirit of God, but we house the Spirit of the Most High God. You say, know ye not that ye are the temple of God, and that the Spirit of the Most High God dwells in us. That's the most important thing. We can work, we can exercise, eat right. We can be a bodybuilder, a fitness instructor, Arnold Schwarzenegger. You could be one of them big built wrestlers, like Booker T. I brought him up for that. Shout out to Booker T. You can have that physique, but if your spirit ain't right, all that don't mean nothing. All of that means nothing. So you gotta have your spirit right. And that's what this whole thing is about, our spirit. But to house that spirit, you want that house, that temple to be healthy. But you want to be here as long as possible to be able to spread the word of the Most High God. But if you in here for your own pleasure and your own fun, that temple ain't gonna last long. Ain't that right, Mama Rock? You can see a lot coming, a lot going. We ain't take care of this temple, then it ain't gonna house the spirit that long. And that's why we should take care of this temple. Not for our own vain self, not so I can talk about, ooh, how fine I am. I got my six-pack. Like, that's the only thing, because everybody vain. That's vanity. I look good. Look at me. But what about your spirit? So once we got the spirit right, a lot of us been eating how we want to eat, live how we want to live, but we're working on the spirit. We got to work on that house, that temple of the spirit, too, so we can stay there long enough to be able to do the Lord's will. That's why we need the spirit in good shape. And that's why they selling us all this garbage. So our temple won't be in good shape. So that's why the temple needs to be in good shape. And we go along with Esau and the pleasures of this world and feeling good and it tastes good and I want it. This capitalistic society, which pushes all this garbage, which in this garbage that we eat, it's a bunch of more garbage to keep us unclean. And once we aware of those things, the protectors of Esau, we start curbing from that thing. Because we are the temples of the Most High God. Read on.
Verse 17. If any man defile the temple of God, him shall God destroy.
What did the Bible say?
If any man defile the temple of God, him shall God destroy.
Now, when they go into defiling the temple of God, it's unclean things that we put into our body. Like the Most High God told us things that we should not eat. Pork, catfish, shrimp, crab, lobster, drinking things, Things that we don't have no prey, predators. We shouldn't be eating no lions and alligator and things of this nature. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because that'll defile our temple. But also, we shouldn't be doing idolatrous things that will defile our temple. Right? It goes both ways, the fleshly and the spiritual. So as well as he gave us, don't worship any other gods but me, he also gave us things that we should not eat. But see, our Christian counterparts, they don't want to adhere to the spiritual or the physical. They want to say, I can eat it, I just pray over it. Well, first of all, the Most High God ain't hearing your prayers. John 9:31. And then you can't pray over something that's unclean that the Most High God deemed unclean. So they double defiling each other. Don't make no sense. Read on up.
If any man defile the temple of God, him shall God destroy. For the temple of God is holy. Which temple are ye?
So the temple of God is holy. We're supposed to be holy. Which means we're supposed to be separate. Which means the things that everybody else doing, we're not supposed to do. The things that everybody else eating, we're not supposed to eat. That's what makes us holy and separate from everybody else. Give me 2 Corinthians 6:16. 2 Corinthians chapter 6 and verse 16.
Book of 2 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 16. And what agreement hath the temple of God with idols?
What did the Bible say?
And what agreement hath the temple of God with idols?
Man, what agreement? If we the temple of the Most High God, what agreement do we have with idols? See, when I'm talking, I'm going to be talking in twofold. I'll be talking spiritual, I'll be talking physical. Because we dealing with both of them. So the physical temple of the Most High God, us, what agreement do we have with idols? Hey, them damn Indians over there don't even want to have an agreement with their idols no more. So what agreement you gonna have with an idol? Read on.
For ye are the temple of the living God. As God has said.
As who has said it?
As God hath said, I will dwell in them and walk in them, and I will be their God, and they shall be my people.
See, the Most High God cannot dwell in a defiled temple. That's why when he even dwelled, when he came down, he was dealing with us. His tabernacle was made to his specifications. Everything was made to how he wanted it, precisely, or he wasn't dealing with it. So, just with us, why would he deal with us and dwell in us if we defiling ourselves? If we smoking crack, how can the Most High God dwell in us? If we smoking wet, how can the Most High God dwell in us? He can. He can. That's why it's a joke. When our people come try to talk to us, you see this thing and you like, you really having a debate right now about the scriptures in the state that you in. Come on, bro. Come on, sister. It's not even loud. Then come quote the scripture. You must forgot about the scripture. Read on.
Verse 17. Wherefore come out from among them, and be ye separate.
He said, come out from among them and be ye separate. That means be ye holy. If we keep the same thing with the other scripture. Read on.
Saith the Lord.
Say who?
Saith the Lord. And touch not these unclean things, and I will receive you.
That's, see, you tell it, that's clear as cut. Touch not the unclean thing, and I will receive you. What's one thing our people love? Pork chops. Pork chops. Bacon. They gonna bake it. They gonna eat them all that morning, and then turn around and say, I know the Lord loves me. He dwelling in me. Sister, brother. No. He told you he don't want to deal with this guilty creature. And yet you go, because it pleases your flesh. You're not thinking about your spirit. See, that's the thing. Our people, like when somebody say, I love God. I'm going to eat the pig from the rooter to the tutor. You're literally saying, forget the spiritual. I'm going to please my flesh. Even though it's a battle between the spirit and the flesh. Right. You're literally pronouncing that I'm not worried about the spiritual. I'm gonna please the flesh, and I'm gonna eat pork whether you like it or anybody else like it. Look at little Boosie. I seen a video of him. I'm surprised he's still alive.
For real.
Because he did some blasphemous stuff going against the Lord, eating some bacon. I don't care if the Lord told me not to eat it. I'm eating it anyway. Whoa, whoa, whoa. No, he already got diabetes. And he straight being rebellious to the Most High.
Bold.
Bold.
Yeah.
But these people think that it's okay. See, he think the Lord blesses him. Why would the Lord bless you and you talking about killing your own people? That's neither here nor there. But in your sickness, see, people don't understand the reason why a lot of people get sick is because of sin. Think about it. If I keep eating stuff that the Lord told me not to, then I'm going to catch these diseases that the Lord said I'm going to catch. If I'm been before the case, and the Lord said it's going to be diseases that ain't even written in his book, then you get AIDS. But you're not going against the Most High. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of things we do in sin that makes us get sick. But people don't even realize. They think they just got sick. If you keep being an alcoholic and your liver go out, and now you need dialysis, why did you have to get dialysis? Because you kept being a drunkard, and the Lord said, don't be a drunkard. Even if you even take it a step further, even if you say you did something against your family, you committed some kind of offense, which sin against your family, which forced you to go to prison, right? And you go in there and you catch COVID, or you catch tuberculosis. How did you catch it? Because sin led you down that route. It's indirectly. A lot of times when we be sick, it's because of the sin that we've been in. And we know it because of the scripture. We don't feel the scripture. When the disciples asked the Lord, who sinned? And a lot of times when Christ was healing people, why would he say, sin no more? They were sick. Then after he healed them, he said, sin no more. Because that's how it comes out. If you're eating what the Most High God told us to eat, and you're doing what the Most High God told us to do, why would you get afflicted by the curses? It don't work like that. A lot of times, that's why we see a lot of people live 89, 90 years old. I seen this lady the other day. She was an older lady. Put 2 pounds of sugar in the candy can. And the youngster's like, oh, man, you put a lot of sugar in there. She like, don't boss me now. I'm gonna stop cooking. She gonna keep kicking. And then most of the people gonna die.
Right.
From eating this cooking, but grandma's still kicking.
Right.
And grandma's doing something right. That sugar ain't affecting her like it's affecting everybody else. Right. Papa gone like a mug. And Papa running them streets.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It even happened with my grandmama and granddad. My grandmama lived almost 90 years old. My granddaddy died about 6 or something.
You see how land.
But they was living 2 different lifestyles, even though they were married. It ain't gonna take a rocket science to figure this stuff out. So when we go through these scriptures, we don't see that thing, man. Over here. Give me 1 Corinthians 11 and 20.
The book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 11 and verse 28. But let a man examine himself.
What did the Lord say?
But let a man examine himself. And so let him eat of that bread and drink of that cup. For he that eateth and drinketh unworthily, eateth and drinketh damnation to himself, not discerning the Lord's body.
So it said, let a man examine himself. That's crucial that we examine ourselves, especially coming into this realm that we in right now. We have to constantly examine ourselves before we take up this bread and eat of it, drink of his, eat of that bread and drink of that cup, which is of the Lord. For he that eateth and drinketh unworthily, he that stepped into this realm of the truth, halfway in, halfway out, and playing the games, eateth and drinketh damnation to himself, not discerning the Lord's body. Read the next verse. Right?
Verse 30. For this cause many are weak and sickly among you, and many sleep.
For this cause, for playing with the Lord, many are weak and sickly among us, and many sleep. Many sleep to this truth. But many are weak and many are sickly. For playing the games with this thing, man, we can't play with this thing, man. And that's literally telling you, you play around. How do you play around with truth? You play with sin. It's going to make you weak and it's going to make you sick. Because you're playing the games with this truth, man. The Most High ain't playing with us. But to prove the point, for the past year, when it comes since COVID here, we've been keeping the Lord's work, keeping his word, keeping his will, walking through this thing like it ain't nothing. So when he tell us he'll protect us if we do his will, it's the truth. So what he gonna do if we not doing his will? You gonna have your butt running around here with a mask on your face when the government haven't told you ain't even got to wear it.
Right.
You scared to death. People scared, still scared. You let the Edomites put you in fear. Did you play in the game? Right? You want to worship the preacher more than the creator. You want to obey man rather than the Most High. So then you're going to be in that situation. Give me Romans 12:1.
The book of Romans, chapter 12, verse 1. I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of God, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice.
What we got to do?
Present your bodies a living sacrifice.
Because we the temples of the Most High God. So if we present our bodies a living sacrifice, that means that we're not partaking of this place. The foods that we're not supposed to eat, the places we're not supposed to go, the people we're not supposed to be dealing with. We're not going to, because when we do that, say we go around some people we shouldn't be dealing with. They over here got pork on the grill, got some cocaine laid out, smoking, kicking it, chilling, everything. You get too comfortable. And then they got extra women. Just think about how you speak. You go to your homeboy house. It's extra women here. It's pork on the grill. It's everything laid out. You mess around, stumble into that situation. If you weak, you gonna fall down. You gonna fall down. So we examine ourselves daily. We're like, no, didn't do that. I gotta present my body a living sacrifice. Hey, I'm understanding that even more. We want to continue to do this work. We better present our body a living sacrifice. You know what, Lord? I ain't gonna eat a whole chicken and guts tonight. You know, Lord, I ain't gonna buy no whole piece of milk like Lord, but all these weeks. Not the whole piece. This is the truth. It's going into niggerness. That's what we just talked about. Turn your face up. You don't want me to say nothing about good. So, I ain't say not do it. I say cut back. Because we got it. Because if I don't cut back, I will gain 20 pounds. And people calling it fat.
They slip up on you too. You know what I'm saying? You don't actually realize you're getting that big right, until somebody get mad at you and call you out your name or whatever. While you eating all this stuff and enjoying yourself, you're slipping up on it.
Actually, you should never get there because when you realize that you tie you can't tie your shoes or it's hard to tie your shoes, that's when you know it's a problem.
When you going up the steps and you breathing hard.
Yes.
And this is the reason why I'm saying it. Because when we go into the cursing, gonna see. We already got curses on us. If we keep shoveling, we just adding to the. We just doing ourselves in. We wasn't sitting here. We ain't here to be naturally healthy people. We here. Well, if we go against these curses, that high blood pressure, that heart disease, the diabetes, the sugars, all that stuff gonna jump on our back. Oh, y'all want to keep eating them hog maws, them pig feet up.
Cancer.
Cancer. Oh, you want to keep eating that pork chops, huh? That bacon, huh? So the Lord said, oh, that's why it's a battle between the spirit and the flesh. You want it? I told you don't eat pork. I made it taste good. What? I made the bacon taste good. What? But you better not eat it. I just so love that bacon. I know the Lord forgive me.
How about they say the grease after they cook the bacon? Say the grease in that
Put the eggs in it.
bacon.
Pour it in the green.
Pour it in the green.
More than
See, just one abomination on top of another.
yeah.
And he said it's an abomination. We just eat an abomination. And then we work at the place. They be like, yeah, I love a seafood boil. You love boiled roaches. You love boiled roaches. Abomination. We just shove it. I don't care how much butter they put on them crabs to make them seem like they're good. It's still a roach. Yep. It's still a crustacean.
Mm-hmm.
It's still that. So the white man has trained us to trick us to make us think that it's a delicacy. They were slick with it. You made some sea roaches be a delicacy, and you made, look, this is how cold Esau is. He took a snail, a sea snail, changed the name of it, gave it to you raw, and said it's escargot. And you like, oh, that sounds good. Escargot. Or oysters.
Yep.
It's aphrodisiac. No, it's a damn abomination, man.
Really?
It's an abomination. Esau slick with it, boy. Because this is what they do. The ones with the money do it, right? So they have, since we envy the oppressor so much as black folks and Hispanic folks, oh, the rich people do it, I want to do it too. So you go to a place, ain't none of us was raised eating no damn sushi. None of us. They go somewhere and get some sushi. Nah, you don't eat that. You just envy no oppressor. But when we do these things, and we constantly do these things, we're going against the Most High, we're putting our health at risk. Putting our health at risk. Read on.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 12, verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of God, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable unto God, which is your reasonable service.
That's our reasonable service. That we should. Reasonable service. That's what it makes me say. That's the least y'all can do. The least you can do is look after yourself, so that I can have a soul that's serving that I can call upon. That's the least we can do. That's our reasonable service. Because say, be not before those like. We say, present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable unto God, which is our reasonable service. That's the physical. Read on.
Verse 2. And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind.
You know what that? When we realize, so shrimp ain't nothing to see. So pork, if you put coke on it, worms gonna come out of it. Renewing your mind. Realize this stuff is garbage, man. That's not for us. Those animals were meant to be garbage disposals of the world. They were meant to clean the bottom of the ocean. And if they're not there to clean the bottom of the ocean, there's going to be a lot of junk at the bottom of the ocean that's not supposed to be there. If these pigs not here to be garbage disposal. If the vulture's not here to be garbage disposal, the flies and the maggots, I guess they're gonna start eating that next. Because they dispose of bodies too.
Yeah.
So I guess that's a benefit. Maggots. They make everything else.
Sweet and sour back.
Yeah. Sweet and sour.
But you know, as far as like with the so-called Mexicans, you know, they eat a lot of pork too. And when I was young, down there in the valley, Texas Valley, when I see my family kill the pigs, they also use the blood to cook with.
Oh my God.
You know what I'm saying? And they, I mean, they just use everything to food.
That is against the law.
Even in tamales, when they make tamales, they're using lard.
Yep.
And all that. So, like, you gotta be careful with the tamales.
Oh, yeah. You can't eat tamales.
Because they got chicken in it. You know what I'm saying?
Give them warning. I'll give them warning.
It's just pork in it, the lard, just period. That's what they do.
Okay.
And I try to get my family member to cook it with coconut oil. Oh no, they weren't trying to hear that.
Like that's abomination. So
No, the flour is corn, but it's a white container with green lettering. It's lard. It's from the pig, you know, the grease, the fat. And they mix it.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the chicken. Is that lard in it too?
No, but you said they cooking. They cooking with it.
You just can't
Eat
eat
that.
tamales, man. You can eat it with coconut oil.
Right.
public
That's-
service announcement.
That sound good too. Coconut oil.
Public service announcement on the tamales. Lord, the kingdom is, we do that. We do it too. Just like we can't walk in any barbecue place or any soul food place. Most of that stuff is off limits.
Right.
You can't walk into any Mexican place and think you're going to get something that's clean. They use the pork regardless.
Okay.
So we got to be aware of that. You walk in there and you just want to fool yourself and think that they ain't using no pork. You just going to lie to yourself.
They cooking the pork on the grill. Cooking on the grill with the beef.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Right, and then after you put the pork right there, all that stuff still right there that's on the grill, and then you put that other meat on top of it, you don't ruin that.
Finish that out, huh?
Verse 2. Let me read it again from this is the book of Romans, chapter 12, verse 2. And be not conformed to this world, but ye be transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God.
Because when you renew your mind, you can transform the spirit and the flesh. You can change your body and your spirit by the renewing of your mind. If you sit in that mind state of, shoot, I can eat what I want to eat, do what I want to do, and things of that nature, your spirit and your flesh messed up. That's how we used to be. Our spirit and our flesh was messed up. So now that we're working on our spirit, I want the flesh to working on the body, the temple. Because we want to be here as long as possible to serve the Most High. That is the key. A lot of people say, I want to be here so I can see my great-grandchildren. I want to see my child there. I want to be here. No, you want to be here to serve the Most High because he's the one that would allow you to see all of that. You'll see your baby graduate, your baby get married, your grandchildren go to college. If you do the will of the Most High and do what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of the God. So you can sit here and a lot of our people, boy, it's amazing how they don't put the Most High first. It's always the children, a mama, most of the children are mama. They don't give a damn about that. They don't give a damn about husband. It's children and mama. They'll die for. They'll live for and they die for. But I'm going to live for the Most High. Because I know through the Most High, I'll be able to take care of my children and my wife and my parents through Him. People thinking that they doing it. You're not doing nothing. You're not doing nothing. Give me Deuteronomy. Oh, read that right quick. Let's get the blood.
Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 12 and verse 23. Only be sure that thou eat not the blood, for the blood is the life, and thou mayest not eat the life with the flesh.
Don't eat the blood.
Chapter 12, verse 23.
Let's go to Deuteronomy 28:15. Deuteronomy 28:15, because this is the key to everything. Once we stay grounded with these blessings and these curses, that's the key to understanding everything. So even the whole class we're talking about really revolve around the curses. Right? It really, because if we was doing the commandments, those blessings will fall upon us. We wouldn't even be having this conversation right now about health. You know what I'm saying? Because the whole nation would be, first of all, if we wasn't here in Babylon, we'd be healthier, hands down. We got to depend on the damn slave master. Matter of fact, let's read Deuteronomy 28 and 48 right there. Mm-hmm. Man, get out there.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28.
Read 15 first. 15 first.
Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 15.
Uh-huh.
But it shall come to pass,
Uh-huh.
if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God,
Uh-huh.
to observe, to do all his commandments,
No, some of them.
all his commandments,
Uh-huh.
and his statutes, which I command thee this day,
Uh-huh.
that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So the Lord clearly told us that if we don't do what he commanded us to do, that all of these curses will fall upon us and overtake us. So we may give me 48 first.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 48.
Uh-huh.
Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee, in hunger,
Uh-huh.
and in thirst,
Uh-huh.
and in nakedness,
Uh-huh.
and in want of all things.
So everything that we need in captivity, we got to get it from our enemies. They're contaminating the food. They using stuff with words that we don't know. And the words that they call is polluting the food. They purposely contaminating the food on us. They purposely using pork and other enzymes and enzymes and things of that nature, putting it in there to dirty up the food under our eyes. Because we are under our enemies, man. We are in captivity. So in want of all things and hunger, we got to get it from our end. We have no choice until we get our farms up. In thirst, in the waters, in the sodas, in the everything, all the sugars, all the things that's in these things. We got to get it from them. And the clothing, if they want to blend the fibers together to make it go against the Most High, we got to get it from them. They'll blend the fibers and then say it's all such and such, 100% this.
Right.
We can't, we don't have no control. And in want of all things, we got to get it from our enemies. So you know they contaminate us. You know they trying to keep us filthy. But the Most High knows it's true. That's why we have to rehearse the righteous acts, because he knows what they're doing. That's why he told us it's right here. But if we don't want to listen, it's what we got to go through. And as we see as Israelites who have woken up and look at the condition our people in, we don't even blame the Most High. How can you blame him?
He's justified.
He is totally justified. When you being a mouthpiece of the Father and you saying his words and somebody saying, well, hell, I'm going to eat it to the anyway. And you like, Lord, just give me the power just right now so I can handle this right here. Please, Lord, put me in the game, Lord. Tag me in, Lord. I know it's the Lord I want to do. These people nuts. So whatever the Most High did to us, and this was what he wanted to happen. He wanted us to bethink ourselves and see where he's coming from. Because once we see where he's coming from, we completely understand. Because now we looking at our people the same way. And we tell them, look, y'all so crazy, in your affliction, you will seek him early. You on your deathbed, you will be crying, Lord, Lord, he gonna laugh at your calamities. Because they don't take it serious. It's all about a good time. With the Most High, it's about this business, man. So since he said, y'all don't want to listen to me, give me read verse 21.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 21. The Lord shall make the pestilence flee unto thee.
He gonna do what?
Make the pestilence flee unto
He
thee.
gonna make diseases cleave unto us. That's why they say every time they show something, they say the blacks and the Hispanics and Native Americans have the highest rate of high blood, has the highest rate of diabetes, has the highest rate. And why? Because we constantly keep going against the body. He said it's gonna cleave to us. Is it not cleaving to us?
Oh,
Gout,
yeah, right.
all this stuff, the sugars,
Mm-hmm.
cleaving to us, cleaving to us.
Look, get cut off.
Let out legs.
Yep.
When Esau eats stuff, he eats it from the root to the tooth. It's okay. Because he a filthy animal too. But we're not. We're the princes and princesses of the Most High. He gave us a strict regimen of what we can eat. And it's a wide regimen. It's not in there. Boy, it kills me how people act. So I can't eat. You tell them they can't eat pork and catfish, they act like you done took their whole damn menu away.
Right.
So ain't no other food. Or you eat turkey only on Thanksgiving? They don't eat turkey on Thanksgiving or Christmas. It's other foods to eat. It's other fish out here to eat. Catfish is not the only fish on the planet, but they'll lead you to believe it is. Pork is not the only meat on the planet, but they will make you think that it is. When I seen pork 39 cents a pound, you should have already knew it was something wrong. This is cheaper than pork everything. They be buying it up. It's not the only meat. All that should be sitting there. And then look what they do. They raise the price of lamb. Now, I could have swore you can grow a lamb quicker than you can grow a cow. Ain't you? Then why the hell is lamb way higher than beef? That's a good question.
Mm-hmm.
It don't take that long to grow a lamb. Or a goat. But yet they meat 2 times, 3 times higher than beef. Don't even, Lord, don't even get me started on the buffalo. I'm still pissed off about that. I'm pissed off about bison. They done killed all the bison we can be eating food. They done killed all the bison and not $30 a pound. This is ridiculous, but this is Esau, man. And this is us in captivity. It's ridiculous. So he said he's going to make the pestilence cleave unto us. Read on.
Until he hath consumed thee from off the land, whither thou goest to possess it.
So, I heard some brothers, I ain't going to go into another thing, brothers feel. But did this not happen to the northern kingdom too?
Mm-hmm.
Some brothers act like some of these curses don't go with the northern kingdom. Go with both of them. Did they not have pestilence? Did they not take them off the land? Did somebody not hand them blankets with smallpox in them? Did they not bring their diseases over here and spread it to everybody else? Come on, man. Read on.
Verse 22. The Lord shall smite thee.
Who gonna do it?
The Lord shall smite thee with a consumption and with a fever and with an inflammation and with an extreme burning and with the sword and with blasting and with mildew, and they shall pursue thee until thou perish.
Go to 27. This is just curse. This is from the curses. Things that were going to happen to us physically if we broke the law, statutes, and commandments. 3:27,
verse 27. The Lord will smite thee with the botch of Egypt, and with the emerald, and with the scab, and with the itch thereof thou canst not be healed.
That doesn't sound like, first we got hemorrhoids in there, the botch of Egypt, the scab, and with the itch. What was it? Smallpox?
Chicken pox, mealworm.
Ringworm. Oh, bro, I'm glad you brought that up. I'm glad the scab.
Yep.
How many of us that's from the hood, those little boys, when you're in the projects, in the apartments, that had ringworm?
I do. Yeah, I do.
Eczema.
Yep.
I remember ringworm like
Yeah,
bug,
because
man.
ringworm.
All got natural stuff, barley.
Yep.
Like every day, man.
I used to catch mine. I used to catch mine in my head back there. The ringworm right there back in my head.
Now tell me this. How come that's the kind of thing between all of us, but we live in totally different places?
Right.
In the four corners of this country, none of us, I wasn't even in this state. But it's a common thing.
Right. You know what's interesting? We all know about that right there. If you can mention that to Esau, the heathen, the medical terms, they ain't gonna know what the hell we talking about.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But we all know. You can holler hepatitis or
Right.
measles or mumps or whatever.
Right.
You know, yeah, all that right there. We've all experienced that right
You
there.
know what they use here? Lice.
And they say they taste pretty dope.
They say it. Read the book of 12 13.
13 trials.
Yeah. I pull them out of his beard and eat them. And they last good. You think they was good? Eat them, Mike.
Read on. So we got.
I don't know.
What they saying? Is this not sicknesses that was promised by the Most High?
Yeah.
Read on.
Verse 28. The Lord shall smite thee with madness
That's another sickness.
and blindness and astonishment of the heart.
A lot of our people out here sick, huh? Mentally sick,
Mhm.
mentally ill. They always say mental illness. He got a mental illness. Yeah, I know he did. But the Most High smited him with madness. A lot of them got demons. Right. A lot of our people really sick, man. Because either they don't understand or they don't want to understand. A lot of times, I don't even give people the benefit of the doubt because people know exactly what they're doing. If this person, like, you know they know what they're doing because the life, right? The life in the streets. They're purposely going to be in the light. I want to be in the light. I want to hit this lick. I want to sell this. I want to hustle. I want to strip. I want to sell dope at the strip club. I want to be a jackpot. You're a person. You're saying this is what you want to do, and you're going to do it, whether you know anything about the Lord or not. Because when we were in that state of mind, we weren't thinking about the Most High.
No.
Somebody could have brought the Most High to us. That don't mean we were going to stop doing what we were doing right that second. Because we was in the light. We was in the light. That's what these things going to happen to us when we in the light. Give me 35.
Book of Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse
Some of the
35.
type of
All praise. The Lord shall smite thee in the knees and in the legs with a sore botch that cannot be healed. From the soul,
say, what about some of our people that's smoking that
2K. I mean,
It's
K2.
called,
hang?
yeah.
The other one.
Ice.
Ice.
Yep.
Yeah,
ice,
ice, but there's another
ice,
name they call it.
another one, too, that they smoke. Is it the K2? They get them swords. They get
Yeah,
them boxes.
them what they call it?
Met.
Met.
They have two.
Met.
Yeah, but it's
And
another
that's
name.
ice.
Right.
It's
Another
another
name.
they're
White
wheezy.
girl got it.
They're wheezy. What they call it? I forget the nickname they put on.
Tucci.
Tucci. That's Tucci.
That's K2.
That's K2.
Yeah,
Oh,
K2.
well,
They
that's
didn't
Tucci.
put another name on
When they smoke that Tucci, they get the swords too.
it.
Yeah. You know?
From the sole of thy foot unto the top of thy head.
Man,
That's what they be.
yeah.
Yeah.
Give me let's go to verse 59 and 61. 59, 56.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 58.
Mm-hmm.
If thou wilt not observe to do all the words of this law that are written in this book,
What did the Bible say? That's very important.
if thou
Mm-hmm.
if thou wilt not observe to do all the words of this law that are written in this book,
In what book?
in this book,
Uh-huh.
that thou mayest fear this glorious and fearful name, the Lord thy God. Verse 59. Then the Lord will make thy plagues wonderful.
And he gonna do what?
Make thy plagues wonderful.
This is what our people not understand. They want to complain about our situation, but he's literally telling us right here. He's going, if we don't adhere to what he told us to do, he's going to make these plagues wonderful on us, and not in the good way. Read on.
And the plagues of thy seed,
And the plagues on our children. Read.
even great plagues, and of long continence, continuance, and sore sickness, and of long continuance. Moreover, he will bring upon thee all the diseases of Egypt, which thou wast afraid of,
Mm-hmm.
and they shall cleave unto thee.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 61. Also every sickness and every plague, which is not written in the book of this law, them will the Lord bring upon thee until thou be destroyed.
And where?
Until thou be destroyed.
See, it's AIDS written in the book.
No.
That's why the Most High made sure he put that passage in there. So it's his brother. I don't even know it. Billy Porter, Billy something, the one that was in the dress. I just seen the thing on my news. He talking about he's a homosexual. He talking about he's been living with AIDS, HIV for 14 years. This country tell you that they medicine. We keep bringing it up. They put the stuff on there for the HIV AIDS. They tell you to take this medicine and keep doing what you do. The Lord put that plague on them. And of long continuance too. And Esau say, keep doing what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Which that's a tip you had to say, keep sinning against the Most High. We got you. We'll keep you propped up as long as we possibly can so you can keep being an abomination to your God. That's what they do. And why would you tell if somebody had if this ain't, I know you had one, you still here with us. If somebody had a heart attack, would you keep telling them to do the same thing? Did the doctor tell you to keep doing the same thing? He told you to change your way. But what we gonna do? We gonna listen to Esau and keep doing the same damn thing. Look, the doctor tell us, we go to the doctor and we go and he said, dang, your blood pressure high. You need to start eating pork. You need to start eating this. You need to start eating that. You need to start eating this. We go out here, everybody gonna keep telling you, no, it's okay. Here, you don't want that? Here. They ain't worried about your life. You know who worried about your life? The Most High, the only one worried about our life, man. Because he the only one telling us what we should not be doing to have longevity and what we should be doing to have longevity. And remember, he said if we walk in his ways, we should prosper in our ways.
Right.
He the only one telling us what to do to prosper in our ways. Everything else is telling us, all these 150,000 fast food restaurants, all these no grocery stores set for us. All these places that selling pork. All our people that's selling pork, that's cooking pork. If you want a plate, not even considering that you can't eat the stuff. Yeah, you got a plate, you got to go out through the thing, make sure, man, I can't eat that. What's in these beans? What you cook the beans with? I use some pig fat, some pork fat. I can't eat this. They're not thinking about people who can't eat it. Oh, go vegan, then you can eat some plant-based. I'm not doing that. I'm not eating no damn plant-based meat. Man, no. I'm not doing that. Read on. That's it. Give me Isaiah 3 and 24. So those are curses. Curses. Now tell me sin don't cause sickness. When it's sitting up here telling you if you sin against the Most High, you're going to get sick. He told us this. But that ain't in the blessings. We do what he told us to do. It's a whole bunch of blessings he promised for. We do a class on the blessings. We can look for what we got coming. On EDOP. This for the women too. This is another play. Oh, read that up.
Book of Isaiah, chapter 3, verse 24. And it shall come to pass that instead of sweet smell, there shall be stink. And instead of a girdle, a rent, and instead of well set hair, baldness, and instead of a stomacher, a girding of sackcloth, and burning instead of beauty.
So he told the women, instead of that sweet smell that you're supposed to have, you're going to have stink. Now, when did that happen with a woman? She's being promiscuous. Because this society tells them now that, and I told my wife this, if I tell me I'm lying, the women start saying, oh, the men doing this, they cheating on us, they wrong, they running stuff, we want to be equal. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, what they want to be equal with? They want to be equal in being whores. Because the men some whores and they want to match them. What sense does that make? Y'all just, the women just as dirty as the men.
Exactly.
If you want to be equal, and that's where you want to be equal at, all right, we want to be equal in faith, we want to be equal in job title, but we also want to be equal in being able to sleep with who we want to sleep with. So, but what they say about the men is dirty, the men is wrong, they're abusing women, they dogs. So what does that make a woman who want to be equal to a man and doing the same thing as that?
She's the dog.
Thank you.
She did all name that they name up. She's the same
female
way.
dog. That's
She
just
just
what it
is.
is. That's just what it is. Why would you want, if the man is so wrong,
Right.
if the man is dog, why would you want to be a dog too? Why would I want to be equal to that? They say the man treated him so wrong, but to get the revenge, you gotta go sleep with 3 dudes. So that makes you a whore too.
Whore.
So when that sweet smell is gone,
Mm-hmm.
because contrary to popular belief, a woman is supposed to be with one man. There won't be no argument about, oh, the size of this and the size of that, because it's gonna fit regardless if you marry the man that you get with, like
Right.
we're supposed to do. You go bouncing around, you're gonna be different sizes, and some gonna get stressed out, and then now you're gonna be saying this next man don't fit. It don't supposed to work like that.
That's right.
So while you doing this bouncing around like these women do, they put it on TV.
All day long.
They putting it on TV. So while you bouncing around, dude, thinking you being a player like a man,
For real.
that sweet smell that you're supposed to have it's gonna turn to stink.
Mm-hmm.
Because remember, these dogs are sleeping with other dogs too. So remember what we said earlier about sickness. So if she's sleeping around and he's sleeping around and they sleeping around, some gonna get caught up in there and somebody gonna catch an STD.
STD.
And it's gonna spread, and then there goes sickness due to sin. This is how the Most High set it up. He's a genius. There's no way of getting around him. He's a genius on both ends. That if we marry our wives, the ones we approve and we get with, and she's our wife, we are only husband she got with, it's gonna fit. It's gonna fit for life. So we ain't gotta bounce around figuring out this and that and this and that. The Most High is a genius. We ain't supposed to be doing all that. So a lot of sisters will lost their sweet smell.
Yeah.
Because they want to be like the dog man. The dog man ain't right. When we dogs, we ain't right.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we run around catching stuff.
Right.
Like the dog that we is. So why would I want to match that? Don't make no sense. Let's go to, give me John chapter 9 and verse 1. Somebody give me John 5. 5.
Yeah, where it's talking about.
Book of John, chapter 9 and verse 1.
Hold up.
About the burning.
The book of John, chapter 9.
About the burning that was in Deuteronomy 28 and 22. About the burning. First thing comes to my mind is about how we end up, being able to have elite. You know what I'm saying? They go use the bathroom, and what happened? Burn.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying.
Stuff.
It don't matter how you get to it. If you're sinning, that's how you're going to get to it. That's the avenue to get to that burning right there. If you're doing something you ain't got no business doing. You ain't never seen nobody catch an STD that was doing what he's supposed to be doing. That's right. Matter of fact, let me rephrase that. Out the couple, you ain't seen nobody catch it. If both parties doing what they supposed to be doing. If somebody go off, then it's gonna bring it into that circle. But if don't nobody go off, it's just between y'all. What y'all got, it's gonna stay right there. So yeah, that's how you get to that burning. A lot of people in the spirit that stuff. Read that up.
The book of John, chapter 9 and verse 1. And as Yahushua passed by, he saw a man which was blind from his birth. And his disciples asked him, saying, Master, who did sin?
What did they say?
Who did sin?
What did they say?
Who did sin?
Now why would the disciples ask, who sinned? Read on that.
This man or his parents, that he was born blind.
So they understood that somebody sinned in this matter. Either the parents sinned to make him come out blind, or he sinned that made him end up blind. Either in this life or the past life. But they understood this. That's why they asked that question. Because they understand that sickness comes from sin. The sickness comes from sin. Read on.
Yahushua answered, neither had this man sinned, nor his parents, but that the works of Yahweh should be made manifest in him.
So this situation right here was strictly a situation that the Most High was going to get set it up so he could show his power.
Yeah.
Like he raising up this place so he could show his power. So in that instance, he didn't sin, but it was an example for the Most High to show his power through your outside. Now give me 5, John 5 and 5.
It's the book of John, chapter 5, verse 5.
Mm-hmm.
And a certain man was there, which had an infirmity 38 years.
So this brother was sick for 38 years. Read on.
When Yahushua saw him live, and knew that he had been now a long time in the place, he had unto him wilt thou be made whole?
He asked me, do you want to be made whole? You want me to fix you? I know you get in a hard situation. Nobody won't help you get in the food, brother. I mean, help you out. It read on.
Verse 7. The impotent man answered him, Sir, I have no man when the water is troubled to put me into the pool. But while I am coming, another steppeth down before me.
And he tried to go, somebody jumped in front of him, man. It ain't no love, boy. Read on.
Yahushua said unto him, Rise, take up thy bed, and walk.
Do what?
And walk.
Uh-huh.
And immediately the man was made whole, and took up his bed, and walked.
Read on.
And on the same day was the Sabbath.
I go to verse 13.
Verse 13.
Yeah. 13.
It's the book of John, chapter 5, verse 13. And he that was healed was not who it was, for Yahushua had conveyed himself away, a multitude being in that place.
Yahushua moving around. Too many people around here. Let me move around, boy. Let me duck and dive. No, hey. Go ahead.
Verse 14. Afterward, Yahushua findeth him in the temple, and said unto him, Behold, thou art made whole. Sin no more.
Do what?
Sin no more.
Do what?
Sin no more.
Uh-huh.
Lest a worse thing come unto thee.
He healed this man. What is this telling you? That this man did some sort of sin. They got him in that situation. So when Christ gave him a chance, gave him mercy, and fixed it, he says, sin no more, lest some worse thing come unto thee. So he giving him warning. Don't go back. It's going to be worse. Don't be a dog return to his vomit. Because it's going to be worse. Because he helped him out. Just like us. We can't be dogs return to our vomit. He already done brought us about this thing, man. We don't go back.
That's all. Now, I'm just going to add to that we were all, spiritually sick. And when the Most High, healed us, that we got our healing from being sick. Because I, for one, I did some terrible things when I was in the world. And after he done healed me now, am I to go back out there and start doing the same thing? No, because the scripture said we have to be transformed by the renewing of our minds. We don't even think and move like that no more. So that's all I have there.
You get healed from an infirmity for 38 years. You shouldn't move like that no more. The brother couldn't even get to the pool and even get healed. People ain't got no respect for you, stepping all over you. Move out the way, broken old man.
Knocking him down.
No respect. I can see him not trying to get to that mud. He was just stepping all over. I'm going to get to the pool before you. No mercy. But who came to show mercy? Yahushua. But the thing is, he told him to sin no more. Let some worse thing come upon him. Play with the power. That's what I'm here. Play with the power if you want to. Because he gave him a chance. So he understood that sin bringing forth these infirmities, bringing forth these illnesses. We just read it out the curses. Just read it out the curses. Give me James 5:13.
The book of James, chapter 5 and verse 13. Book of James, chapter 5 and verse 13. Is any among you afflicted? Let him pray. Is any merry? Let him sing songs. Is any sick among you? Let him call for the elders of the church, and let them pray over him, anointing him with oil in the name of the Lord. And the prayer of faith which shall save the sick, and the Lord shall raise him up. And if he have committed sins, they shall be forgiven him.
So this is things that the Lord is telling us to do to help build the sick. Go to the elders and pray. He say, if any of you are sick, let him call the elders of the church and let them pray over them, anointing him with the oil in the name of the Lord. Because we got to go to the Lord, man. It don't matter what ailment we got on this earth. We got to go to the Most High. Because he's the only one can do it. I don't give a dang how much medicine at Parkland Hospital they got. Most High cut your lights out, it's a wrap. I don't care. Why you think when the Most High want to say, I'm going to let them live? You know what they call that? A miracle. Because they know they didn't have nothing to do with it. They got to call it a miracle. That's for the Most High to step in and intervene. Or when they think they got the situation stable, we got everything under control, and then the Most High take somebody like that. We in the hands of the maker. We in not in the hands of man. We're in the hands of the maker. Have your mask on. Watch that COVID just go right up under their name. Yeah, that mask gonna stop. Oh, what if you got the COVID shot? Both of them. I got one of them. They said, I got one shot. I'm waiting on the other. You keep waiting. They ain't gonna say, we ain't got no shots. Read on. Oh, hold up. He say, let them pray over the Lord with the oil in the name of the Lord. And the prayer of faith shall save the sick. The prayer of faith, that's knowing that the Most High will do this job. That's accepting whatever the Most High don't choose to do to. Because you pray, and you pray for the sick. If the Most High don't want to save them, ain't nothing we can do. Ain't nothing we can do. But accept that thing. But Moses, we put that prayer, that faith down and say, Most High make a miracle happen. And he say, for the prayer of faith shall save the sick, and the Lord shall raise him up. And if he have committed sins, see, why go back to the sins? Go right back to the sins. And if he have committed sins, they shall be forgiven. Because everything revolves around us going against the Most High. He can make you run around here like a healthy horse, thoroughbred if you want to. I ain't playing with him, man.
First one get over the promise,
And then he got his situation, and then the Most High hit somebody else with a completely different something else. And then hit you with something completely different. Then hit me with something completely different. Just to let us know he ain't playing with us. He is not playing with us, man. He gonna get us right. That's the ones he chose. So read verse 16.
Verse 16. Confess your faults one to another, and pray one for another, that ye may be healed. The effectual fervent prayer of a righteous man availeth much.
Availeth much. So we in order with the Most High, like for instance, if the congregation in order and we pray to the Most High, he gonna handle that thing, man. Yeah, he got people in the church doing all this praying. I don't know. I ain't the people on the sick and shedding list. I ain't never seen no more. Like, yeah, we ain't seen Reese in a minute. He been on the sick and shedding, and Brother Thomas sick and shedding. Hey, I ain't seen him in 6 months. But that prayer in the church ain't working.
I'm going to have a statement on what you just said, because they did not follow the instruction what the Most High just said right here. He said the elder. He said elders. So it got to be more than one man going to pray for the people.
Yeah.
Then he said,
Exactly. Not
you
no
know,
one pastor.
what pastor?
Not okay.
That's what
Point
messed
that
it
out,
up. They messed it all, thrown it all off.
what you had said, I'm gonna let you continue. But what you said about the pastor said, if you give to the land fund, then you get extra prayer.
Right.
Oh, you said that? Extra prayer. Go ahead, Doc.
And then when you said that's why like all the people who came in through the line, through that prayer line, never got healed because he did not do what the Bible said to do right here. It said right here, plain Jane, he said the elders, not the pals. That's single. Then when you do this here, you will see the miracle of the Most High. He's showing us right there. I just had to point that out.
Good observation. He didn't say pastor. He's the only one in the whole church to pray over anybody.
Everybody.
Then he got to let me cast some power on this deacon so he can pray for you. Cast some on this deacon. They got the power to pray for you now. Thank y'all better get
Pastor ain't got no power.
How can he pray for you when his prayers ain't even being heard?
Exactly.
Ask that pastor or pray for somebody that died.
I'm through. I'm through. If I ever see a pastor pray for somebody and that person died, they need to be put out of business.
Back to talk.
Hey, that's crucial right there.
Yeah.
But also, it say confess your faults one to another, right?
Right.
Did it say go to the Catholic Church and go in a little box
No.
with a little Edomite man and tell him all your business so that they can use it against you?
Right.
Because you know they got mafia ties. It didn't say that.
No. It didn't tell you to go into the. It did not tell you to go into pastor office by yourself and confess that either.
What happened to pastor?
You know they go in there and want to
He said
confess.
what happened in pastor office, stay in pastor office.
See, but the most
They ain't what
awesome,
say.
man. Awesome, right here, man.
It say confess your faults one to another
One to another. Yep.
and pray for one another that ye may be healed.
Wow.
What
He's not in there.
Okay, because it say the effectual fervent prayer of a righteous man availeth much. Keyword. Righteous man. Righteous. Not TD Snakes.
Right.
See, TD Snakes, let a cross-dresser pray over him.
Boy.
$4 billion. Them the type of pastors y'all got out there, y'all. They let cross-dressers pray over them. They let trannies pray over them. Don't get it twisted. Mother, Tyler Perry that's a cross-dresser. That's a cross-dresser. That's his alter ego.
Mm-hmm.
He do it too well. Too well. Too well. He played Mother better than he played Tyler Perry.
Right.
I seen him act. It's Tyler Perry. He act better as Mother than he do as Tyler Perry. It's horrible.
No acting.
No acting is that good. That's for real. That's for real deal. So we gonna talk to one another, and we gonna confess our stuff to each other. Give our praise. Psalms. Oh, you got that one? You get Proverbs 14. Let's go to Psalms 38 and 3. Psalms 38 and 3.
It's the book of Psalms, chapter 38, verse 3. There is no soundness in my flesh because of thine anger. Neither is there any rest in my bones because of my sin.
Ain't no soundness in the flesh when you in your anger. And neither be any rest in my bones because of my sin. That's going to affect your body. That sin is going to affect your body. Say this, all that part. What's the song? All this drinking don't catch up. All this smoking don't catch up. That's one Nah. It was young blood. Young blood.
Young blood.
All that drinking is gonna catch up. And all that stuff that you do on the weekends gonna catch up. Read on now.
Verse 4. For my iniquities are gone over my head, as in heavy burden they are too heavy for me.
Mm-hmm.
My wounds stink and are corrupt because of my foolishness. I am troubled. I am bowed down greatly. I go mourning all the day long.
Mm-hmm.
For my lions are filled, for my loins are filled with a loathsome disease, and there is no soundness in my flesh.
Read on.
I am feeble and sore broken. I have roared by reason of the disquietness of my heart. Lord, all my desire is before thee, and my groaning is not hid from thee. My heart my panteth, my strength faileth me. As for the light of mine eyes, it also is gone from me.
Because when you be in sin, that stuff gonna stress you out, man. That's what drove a lot of us from doing the things we were doing. We got tired of being stressed. We got tired of being tired. It takes a toll on you, especially when a person, when they say, I got you. When they say, as heavy, for mine iniquities are gone over my head, as a heavy burden, they are too heavy for me. Because when we keep adding sin unto sin, we got stuff on our mind, man. We hang out. We hang out all night. We drink and do everything we want to do. We're not living healthy. We not getting the proper rest. That's the street life. We study whoring the sisters out. We study chasing a dollar, doing anything for a dollar. These sins start weighing on you. Then, not only that, you worried about the police all the time. All the time. So that's stressing you out. That's why a lot of brothers look older than what they're supposed to be because of the stress that they got to do in the streets. Just seen a dude that I went to school with, this dude younger than me, he looked like he's 65 years old. That's sin, man. Read on.
Verse 11. My lovers and my friends stand aloof from my sword, and my kinsmen stand afar off.
Because your lovers and your friends, the ones you was doing that stuff with, when you down, they ain't gonna be there for you. When you down, when you up, they right there with you.
Mm-hmm.
And you got the extra pills and the powder packs and the 6-pack and the 12 packs and the ounces and everything going on, they right there with you. But when you at the house going through, they come down, and those pains, in the recovery process, they not gonna be there. Your lovers and your friends not gonna be there. And your kids been looking at you like this damn fool. I'm not messing with him. He's an addict. He done lost his damn mind. You don't trust him. Look at him. Look how he look. He ain't weighing what he's supposed to weigh. He ain't looking how he's supposed to look. He's something wrong with him. He on something. You know how we talk. You know how we talk. Because of them sins and them iniquities.
And none of that is going to help. You know what I mean? What's the and how you going to fix it? Talking about it, they ain't going to fix it.
They don't know what to do.
The word is the only thing
That's
that fix it.
That's the only thing that fix
What it says, we get comfort in the scripture. That's why all of us are here right now.
Oh.
Proverbs 14 and verse 30.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 14 and verse 30. A sound heart is the life of the flesh, but envy the rottenness of the bone.
So we have a sound heart. It's the life of the flesh. Meaning, be of good cheer, have a sound mind. Keeping laws, statutes, and commandments make you have a sound mind. It keeps you on path for where you need to go. But envy, if you envying and you being a nigger, it's rottenness of the bones. Because you killing yourself from the inside. It's not things like pride and envy and strife we shouldn't be having on us. We shouldn't have those emotions on us. Because that thing right there will tear you up. Because it's only going to mess with up here. Which is going to affect this. If you mess this up here, it's going to affect your body. It's going to affect your body. The way you think, that's why I say have a sound mind. If you thinking all types of crazy stuff, people trying to get me, hey, everybody after me, everybody trying to be like me, everybody hating on me. If this your thought process, then what you think about? You ain't got no blinders on. You worry about somebody trying to get you. But when you got a sound heart, a sound mind, you're not worried about none of that stuff, man. Because you put your trust in the Most High God. And when you put your trust in the Most High God, you know He got you. He gonna take care of you. Go to Proverbs chapter 3 and verse 7. 31 and 12. Proverbs chapter 3 and verse 7.
It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 3, verse 7.
Mm-hmm.
Be not wise in thy own eyes. Fear the Lord.
Do what?
Fear the Lord.
Do what?
Fear the Lord.
Uh-huh.
And depart from evil.
Be not wise in your own eyes. Don't think we got this stuff. Because we ain't got it. Every Israelite, Black, Hispanics, and Native American that thought they had it, we ain't got nothing. We ain't doing nothing. Be not wise in your own eyes. Because your wisdom means nothing. The wisdom of this world means nothing. Only the wisdom of the Most High God overrides everything. Because His wisdom been here since the beginning. And His wisdom teaches you what the Most High God likes and what He wants to. It say, fear the Lord and depart from evil. Read on up.
Verse 8. It shall be health to thy navel and marrow to thy bones.
It say, if you lean on the Lord, you fear the Lord and depart from evil, it should be health to thy neighbor. What do your neighbor do? Your neighbor was attached to your mother. Your mother was the one that gave you the minerals and nutrients and the things that you needed to be healthy. You are umbilical cord to your neighbor. That's the same way as being connected to the Most High. If you connect to the Most High, fear Him, and depart from evil, keep these laws and commandments, you connect your neighbor to help and to marrow your bones, because that's going to go into your bones. Give me Sirach chapter 31 and verse 20.
The book of Sirach, chapter 31 and verse 20. Sound sleep cometh of moderate eating. He riseth early, and his wits are with him. But the pain of watching and choler and pains of the belly are with an unsatiable man.
So this is going into our eating habits. Eating habits have to play a lot into our health. A lot into our health. But a lot of times we be gluttonous. We don't realize we being gluttonous because it's going to tell us. And so they say, eat as becometh a man. Did you read that? No. Read 16. Read 16.
Verse 16. Eat as it becometh a man. Those things which are set before thee, and devour not, lest thou be hated.
You say the things that set before you, eat, but don't be over here acting like the Tasmanian devil about that thing. Lest thou be hated, because everybody gonna be like, oh, what's wrong with this food right here? Read on.
Leave out first for manners. Select it. Leave out first for manners' sake, and be not unsatiable, lest thou offend.
You say, leave off the matter, say, act like you got some family. And it say, and be not unsatiable, be not greedy. That's what insatiable means. Be not greedy, lest thou offend. Read on.
When thou sittest among many, reach not thy hand out first of all.
No. You the first one. You ain't brought nothing to the party, nothing to the table. Ain't cooked nothing or none of that. But you the first one out here trying to grab a piece of cornbread. Act like you did it before. Read on.
A very little is sufficient for a man well nurtured.
And this is what I want to get into. A very little is sufficient for a man well nurtured. If you eat, you eat. See, this food be good. But we ain't got to eat as much as we eat. It be good. They know what they know. They make it be good.
See, that's where the hemorrhoids overeating.
Yep.
You know, you get into food, you can't push it out, you forcing it, and here they go. Boop,
Yep.
boop, boop.
Yep. That's why. And we being insatiable. Right? We being insatiable. We being greedy. He said a very little is sufficient for a man well nurtured. Read on.
And he fetcheth not his wind short upon his bed.
You mean he ain't gonna be laying in the bed party. You know, we all have been there. Our wives laying in the bed. Yeah, this is the same. Yeah. Our wives laying in the bed with us. We over here. They do it all day. Read on. They act like they don't. Read on.
Sound sleep cometh of moderate eating.
Sound sleep. So if brothers have a problem sleeping, you say moderate eating. I mean, sound sleep comes with moderate eating. Moderate. Same way our women need to be modest, meaning having just enough right amount of going on, not too little, not too much, a moderate right. That's how we need to eat. Not too little, not too much, a moderate amount. Read on.
He riseth early, and his wits are with him. But the pain of watching and choler and pains of the belly are with an unsatiable man.
So he say, but the pains of watching and choler is irritable, being irritable, and the pains of the belly are within an unsatiable man. That's what a greedy man. So when your stomach over here hurt, because you done ate too much, that's because of that. Read on out.
Verse 21. If thou hast been forced to eat, arise, go forth, vomit, and thou shalt have rest.
You done went over your woman's house. You done went over your other woman. No, just you done went over your mama's house, and she done made you eat something, and you gotta go home to your wife. You ain't telling you ain't wanting to eat. So you over here trying to eat this food. Hold it down, now. So you trying to eat this food after you done already ate. They say go in there. The Lord say go forth and vomit, and thou shalt have rest. But you ain't got no business eating all that food. You gonna tell mama, hold up, mama. I'm gonna take this plate with me to go. And when I go home and eat my wife.
Yep.
They eat because mama will force you to eat.
Yep.
Well, you gotta sit down and eat something because if you don't, you gonna fail. You just gonna have to let mama know it or wife know. One of them gonna have to know. I can't eat all this food right now. You gonna have to understand. Read on.
If thou be forced to eat, arise, go forth, vomit, and thou shalt have rest.
Mm-hmm.
My son, hear me, and despise me not. And at the last thou shalt find, as I told thee, in all thy works be quick. So shall there no sickness come upon thee.
So that what?
No sickness come upon thee.
Because you over here being free kid, you can get sick from that thing, man. And this is what we're trying to avoid, sickness. Because gluttony is a sin. And this is what it's telling you. It's literally going into being a glutton.
So I can't get 2 plates no more.
You need to get 1 plate. So that with proper portions. Read on.
Verse 23. Whoso is liberal of his meat, men shall speak well of him,
Mm-hmm.
and the report of his good housekeeping will be believed.
Read on.
verse 24. But against him that is a nigger,
That is the what?
is a nigger,
That is the what?
is a nigger
You know?
of his meat, the whole city shall murmur, and the testimonies of his niggerness shall not be doubted of.
So, but against him that is a nigger, the one that every time we set up to eat, this brother got 7 plates. He taking something home. He over here eating too much food. I ain't calling out no names. I'm just saying, if somebody is in gluttony, they say he's a nigger, and it said, but against him that is a nigger of his meat, the whole city shall murmur. Man, this brother, all this stuff ain't nothing. And that brother wrong, man. What's wrong with him? Start calling your names and things like that. And then it say, and the testimonies of his niggerness. So when somebody tell you, say, man, that brother over there, 7 plates. And I believe, I seen him over there that last feast day, he had 6. They gonna believe that testimony.
I didn't even get no cake, man. He had 3 pieces of damn cake.
Exactly. And they gonna believe that because they know your niggers.
Yeah.
So that's being greedy, man. That's being greedy, and that's against the law. We can't have a serious moment with this group. I'm being serious here.
No,
It's serious business. We don't want to be niggards at the table.
Exactly.
You don't want nobody to say, dang, they greedy than a mother. Let's get 3 John 1 and 2. The wisdom of Solomon 16 and 3 John.
the book of 3 John, verse 2.
I think I'll yeah, I'm not going to say that. Give me Deuteronomy 32, 37. Read that out.
The book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 16 and verse 12. For it is neither herb nor mollifying plaster that restored them to health, but thy word.
But what?
But thy word.
But what?
But thy word,
Uh-huh.
O Lord, which healeth all things.
It's the what?
Which healeth all things.
Read on.
For thou hast power of life and death. Thou leadest to the gates of hell and bringest up again.
So it's the most high that's in control of everything, man. It's everything, man. Ain't nothing getting by him. So whatever ailment we got, we better come to the most high about it. Whatever we need from him, we better go to his word about it. Because that's what's going to heal us. Not this medicine from these doctors. Not even the herbs or the modified plaster. It's the most high. He got to put his spirit on that stuff to make it work. If he don't put his spirit on there, you can wrap it up. Deuteronomy 32 and 37. John 8.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 32, verse 37.
Mm-hmm.
And he shall say, where are their gods? Their rock in whom they trusted,
Mm-hmm.
which did eat the fat of their sacrifices and drank the wine of their drink offerings.
So the Lord said, man, where your gods at, man? Where your white Jesus at? Where your Buddhas at? Where your Krishnas at? Your Hindus? Where your Satan's at? This is the Lord telling you. You want to protect with them? Well, where they at? Read on.
Let them rise up.
Let them do what?
Let them rise up.
What the Lord said, let them rise up for you then. When you going through your sickness, let them rise up for you. When you get the COVID, let your gods rise and tell white Jesus to say. This is what God is saying. You got to go to ask the East Indians over there if they God saved them. They got to dispose of them by the thousands. Read.
Let them rise up and help you.
Well, I love our God, man. That sounds like something we'll say. We know we make that. Let them rise up and help you. Don't look at me. Let them help you. You know they ain't gonna help you. You know?
And be your protection.
He said, let them rise up and help you and be your protection. Since that's what you want. Since that God let you eat pork. Since that God say you ain't gotta wear fringes. Since that God say you ain't gotta keep the Sabbath. Then that God you follow, like Jesus, white man, whatever you want to call it, women, whatever you follow. When you fall down ill, then the Lord of God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the God of Israel said, let them help you and protect you. How about that? Read on.
Verse 39. See now that I, even I, am He, and there is no God with me. I kill.
What do he do?
I kill.
He'll take us out in a minute. He'll take whoever he want out of this place. Ready?
And I make
And
alive.
he'll bring to life whoever he want to bring to life in this place, man. Ready?
I wound.
He'll wound you. He'll hurt you. He'll make you sick if he want to. Ready?
And I heal.
And he'll heal you if he want to. And he'll do both of them. He'll let you get a gunshot and then let you get healed. He'll let, like my brother, he let my brother get shot in the chest and then let him get healed. He ain't doing nothing the Lord told him to do. I know, because he's trying to give you a chance, like I told him. He's trying to show you something. Read on, because I'm telling you, he could have easily went the other way. Read on.
Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand.
Because once you get in the Most High God's hand, ain't nobody going to be able to get you out. What the comedian say? If I come over there, I'm going to be over there till somebody come get me off. If I jump over there, I'm going to be on you till somebody get me off. Well, ain't nobody going to be able to get the Most High God off you, man. Ain't nobody going to be able to do that. Any, what I asked you, Sean, 8 and 10, you read that.
This is the book of John, chapter 8 and verse 10. When Yahushua had lifted up himself and saw none but the woman, he said unto her, Woman, where are those that thine accusers? Had no man condemned thee? Verse 11, she said, No man, Lord. And Yahushua said unto her, Neither do I condemn thee. Go and sin no more.
What did he tell her?
Go and sin no more.
What did he tell her?
Go and sin no more.
You know what? That was going to be my last one. But it's okay. I was going to use that for my law, statute, and commandment because that's Christ himself telling me to go and sin no more. That's a commandment. If I saved you, that's what he's telling all of us. Go and sin no more. I let you make it. We know where we've been through, and where we've been at, and the stuff that we could have happened to us. And when he get us to this point right here, he told us to go and sin no more, like he told that sister. Because that's what he don't want us to do. What's the purpose of him being sacrificed for us? Dying for us. If we gonna go and keep doing the things that we was doing, it don't make no sense. So he told us to go and sin no more, man. Give me Sirach chapter 30 and verse 15.
It's the book of Sirach, chapter 30, verse 15. Health and good estate of body are above all gold.
What did the Bible say?
Health and good estate of body are above all gold. And a strong body above infinity wealth.
And this is true. Because I seen this Edomite dude. He had all the money in the world. But he knew he was going to die because he had cancer. He had all the money in the world. He couldn't stop. So he just started helping people. He knew his time was short. And he said, I'd trade all this money in the world to have some good more time on this earth. Because it's true. To have your health is more precious than gold. And you got people that, what was that dude in the wheelchair, that scientist dude? They rolled around with him. Oh.
He did that thing that they're supposed to produce all this atom and nuclear and all that stuff.
He riding around in the paraplegic. Yeah. He
Got
Oh my God.
Y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all know what I'm talking about. So, that dude made some money. You don't think he would have gave all that money up to be able to step up and walk up out that wheelchair? A lot of names for me. You don't think he would have gave all his money up to be able to step up out that wheelchair, man? He would have, instead of doing that. But Esau still propped him up, boy. He still propped him up. He was married and everything, boy. Then you ain't got it yet.
Hold on.
He was married.
He was married. Yeah. But that money's something else. Stephen Hawkins. That's his name.
Yeah.
Stephen Hawkins. Stephen Hawkins. That's his name. I remember that. Yeah, man, he would have gave all the money up to step about the wheelchair. Man. That's what the scriptures say. Health and good estate of body are above all gold. And a strong body above infinite wealth. Well, I know that's true. But boy, what you do to have that 20-year-old body? People pay all their money to get it found the youth. Why do you think these people paying all this money, these mics, to get all that plastic surgery and stuff? Trying to look younger. Thousands of dollars. Trying to look younger. I'm sorry, Esau, Esau, it ain't gonna help. You look like crap.
Real.
Running around here looking like the mask about the face. Looking like Joan Rivers. Just messing yourself up worse. Read on out.
Verse 15. There is no riches above a sound body, and no joy above the joy of the heart.
No joy. Ain't no riches above a sound body, man. That's why we got to take our opportunity now to work on our temple for the Most High so we can be here as long as the Most High wants to be. Like, you can shorten your life. You can shorten it. Like he told us. It's in Ecclesiastes. But we don't want to do that. We want to lengthen it by doing the things that the Most High has prescribed to us to have long life. Longevity. Read on.
17. Death is better than a bitter life, or continual sickness.
He said death is better than a bitter life or continual sickness. So we need to keep that thing in our minds. But all of us that have the ability to work on ourselves, to better ourselves, to better our situation, we need to try to do that. Because this is what the Lord told us. This we could get to class just with these scriptures right here. These couple of verses right here was the class. Health is better than all these things, man. So that you can have a chance to serve the Most High. Give me Leviticus 11 and 7.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 11 and verse 7.
No, you don't let them go. Let y'all have it, boy. Better go on here and read it. He ain't talking about nothing.
Yeah. Book of Leviticus, chapter 11 and verse 7. And the swine.
And the what?
And the swine.
Otherwise known as pork, eat the pig. Go ahead.
Though he divided the hoof, and he be cloven footed, yet he cheweth not the cud. He is unclean to you.
He is what?
He is unclean to you.
Let's give them another one that they probably don't know. Jump up one verse for our country folks. And I sure hated for y'all because I did have plans of trying some rabbit if I had to. I wasn't just gonna do it if I ain't have to. But if we got in this situation, I would have did it. But since I see this scripture here, la to the rabbits. Read this.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 11 and verse 6. And the hare, because he cheweth the cud, but divided not the hoof, he is unclean unto you.
He is what?
He is unclean to you.
So we can't run around eating the rabbit. And read in 7 again for the people who ain't heard.
Verse 7. And the swine, and the swine.
The rabbit rice is right.
No rabbit rice and gravy. Okay. Read on up.
And the swine, though he divided the hoof, and he be cloven footed, yet he cheweth not the cud. He is unclean to you.
Read on.
Of their flesh shall ye not eat, and their carcass shall ye not touch. They are unclean to you.
You should be touching the dead body of the pig. Don't even touch the pig's skin. Why you never use the pig's skin? Okay. So that's our law, statutes, and commandments for the night. Say keep it, you gotta keep it. You don't keep it, don't put yourself in the snare and the trap. I hope everybody got some edification tonight. We'll give all praise and glory and honor to the Most High God, the name and Son of Mashiach. With that, say shalom.
Shalom.
Like that Edomite do. Shalom.